Okay, so for this technique we're going to retread a bit of old ground that I covered initially in the bass part of the fundamental series I did to launch the Patreon. And this basically involves we drop in the entire track into a sampler, and then we're just going to filter our way through the track and try and pick out sections that might be, you know, kind of interesting and sort of present the music featured within the sample just in a new way potentially. And we can use all manner of ways to sort of present the sample in a new way. So like, for example, we can use the filter, we can add an envelope to the amplitude, we can add an envelope here to the filter. Something like that, you know, if we get some drums going here. Let's just stick this on an offbeat. And kind of with that, you know, we've got our first sample in this, put a bit of spread on that. You've kind of got an anchor point that we can then bounce another sample off of using the same track, but let's try using a reverse sample. So that's quite interesting. Try that's a great example there. We've kind of what was initially a vocal sample it's now this kind of weird sort of warpy pad stabby chord thing. I don't know what you want to call it. Group these two together. A bit of OTT compression to them to sort of bring out some of the detail. Maybe also a filter. LFO as well. Just to give this a nice gentle movement. Let's put it on 8. Maybe a slower rate actually, maybe 16. So that's obviously really simple, but it gets you up and running, and that we've come from, you know, we were sort of somewhere in this part of the track the first sample came from, and the second one is right at the end. It's basically that. Give me one more chance. Part in reverse, but that sounds pretty tough. Pretty tacky. So that's, you know, it's a really simple way of doing it. Let's park that one for the time being. We can further expand upon this technique, and we can use, to do this, we can use a drum rack. And again, I'm just going to load a sampler into the drum rack. Let's pull this back, and we'll load in the track in its entirety again. Bring it back to sampler. And this can be, I'm going to duplicate this out. Let's just say we've got 4 of them. And this, we can kind of look at making something a bit more nimble, kind of light on its feet. I'm going to draw in a pattern, and I'm not going to listen to it, because I'm just going to try and pick out some samples that will fit what we've got. At the moment, that's what we have. So let's just So for this, we want to be taking very short, little tiny chops. So you can have that for our first one. Kind of sounds right. Let's duplicate this. And just try and add in another sample. Almost works that. Just get the filter on there again. And let's get in one last hit. Let's go for another reverse on this one. See what we can find here. See how this goes. Nope. Okay, so that can be sort of more of a percussive kind of. And so again, a really simple and quick way of chopping something up and getting another nice idea on the go. So now that we've got this loop set up, we can go in and further add to it as with the drum rack. All these are independent, so we can add effects to each of these samples. So here, for this kind of stab, I'll just do it really quick, just to add a little bit more depth, but like a bit of delay on there is nice. This vocal sample, you can also come and add in a nice bit of delay on there, for a longer delay though. Also an LFO on here would be nice to open up the filter over time. Make it fairly quick for the purposes of this, but just adds a nice bit of movement. Here, let's try a little bit of distortion. Wonder if there's a nice preset we can just grab quickly. Sunny side up, what's that do? Pretty interesting. Bit too nutty. Lo-fi sampler. I think that's kind of the sound we're going for here. What else can we add here for this little vocal? Just make sure that vocal sample happens every 8 times. And then let's just change this LFO rate to 16 so that we've got a low point and a high point in the cycle of the cart filter there. Which annoyingly doesn't move when it's mapped to the LFO, so you just have to kind of remember that it's mapped. But yeah, just, you know, it shows this, we've got 4 samples there, and you've got the best part of a track going. Once you start adding a couple of effects and LFOs and stuff to get things moving about, it really sort of starts to come together very, very quickly.